Imagine a world not just built by human hands, but grown. A world where our cities glow with living light, where our oceans clean themselves, and where life itself is a programmable technology. This isn't a distant science fiction fantasy. This is the dawn of synthetic biology, the next great frontier of creation. We are stepping beyond simply reading the book of life. We are learning to write it. For millennia, we've shaped our world with tools of stone, iron, and silicon. Now, we are using the most advanced tool of all, DNA. Welcome to the age where we become architects of life. What if we could reprogram nature to solve our biggest problems? This is the core promise of synthetic biology. Picture entire cities, not lit by electricity, but by the soft, ethereal glow of bioluminescent trees and plants. We could engineer them to light up our streets and parks, drastically cutting our energy consumption and reconnecting our urban spaces with the natural world. Imagine forests of light, a living, breathing power grid that's beautiful, sustainable, and completely silent. It is about taking a trait that already exists in deep-sea creatures and fireflies and integrating it into the fabric of our daily lives. Now, let's turn our attention to the oceans. Our seas are choking on plastic waste, a problem that seems insurmountable. But what if the solution was microscopic? Scientists are designing bacteria and other microbes with a specific appetite for plastic. These tiny organisms could be released into our oceans and landfills, where they would systematically break down harmful polymers into harmless, biodegradable substances. It's like a planetary-scale cleanup crew, working tirelessly to purify our waters, one molecule at a time. They would be nature's recyclers, supercharged for the modern world, restoring balance to ecosystems we've thrown into chaos. And what about the silent crisis happening in our fields? Bee populations are plummeting due to colony collapse disorder, threatening global food security. Synthetic biology offers a creative lifeline. We could engineer bees with enhanced navigation systems, making them more resilient to the pesticides and environmental stresses that disorient them. We could even improve their ability to communicate, allowing them to find new food sources more efficiently and warn each other of dangers. By giving these vital pollinators a biological upgrade, we are not just saving the bees, we are protecting our own food supply and the delicate web of life that depends on them. This isn't about replacing nature, but about reinforcing it where it's become most vulnerable. These examples are just the beginning. We are talking about reprogramming the fundamental code of life. It's a paradigm shift. We've gone from observing life to understanding it, and now to designing it. This power allows us to think about biology not as a fixed system, but as a dynamic, programmable platform. A platform for building a better, more sustainable, and more wondrous world. But as we rewrite the rules of nature, we are inevitably led to an even more audacious question. What if we could write entirely new rules? What if we could create life that has never existed before? This is where synthetic biology ventures beyond evolution and into the realm of pure creation. Let's look to the stars. Human exploration of space is limited by our fragile biology. But what if we designed life specifically for the journey? Imagine creatures, perhaps based on hardy extremophiles like tardigrades, engineered to withstand the vacuum of space, cosmic radiation, and extreme temperatures. These biological explorers, or bioprobes, could be sent to scout distant planets like Mars or the moons of Jupiter, sending back data from environments far too hostile for humans or even our most advanced robots. They would be the vanguards of our interstellar ambitions, life designed for the cosmos. Now, let's bring that incredible power back inside our own bodies. Imagine microscopic doctors, a fleet of synthetic cells patrolling your bloodstream. These are not drugs that flood your entire system. These are precision-guided biological machines. They could be programmed to hunt down and destroy cancer cells while leaving healthy tissue completely untouched. They could identify viruses the moment they enter your body and neutralize them before you even feel sick. They could repair damaged tissue at the cellular level, reversing the effects of injury or disease. This is the future of medicine, personalized, precise, and alive. It's about turning our own bodies into a self-healing system of unparalleled sophistication. Beyond individual cells, we can even start building with biological parts on a larger scale. Think of macromolecular machines, complex devices assembled from proteins, DNA, and other biological components. These aren't robots made of metal and plastic, they're organic machines. They could perform complex tasks like assembling new materials atom by atom, creating incredibly strong yet lightweight structures. They could function as biological computers, processing information in ways that silicon chips never could. We could build factories that grow their own machinery, systems that are self-repairing and fully biodegradable. We are on the verge of a new industrial revolution, one powered not by steam or electricity, but by the fundamental machinery of life itself. We are learning to build with the same building blocks that nature has used for billions of years, but in ways that evolution never imagined. With this godlike power to reprogram and create life, we stand at a profound ethical crossroads. This isn't just a scientific challenge, it's a moral one. When we design a new organism, what are our responsibilities to that creation? And what are our responsibilities to the existing ecosystem it might interact with? The line between therapy and enhancement blurs. Where do we stop? Curing genetic diseases is one thing, but designing better humans is another entirely. These are not questions for scientists alone, they are questions for all of humanity. This is why the conversation around safety and ethics is just as important as the research itself. Around the world, scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public are engaging in deep discussions to establish robust guidelines. Concepts like biosecurity are paramount, ensuring that these powerful tools don't fall into the wrong hands. Protocols for containment, like creating organisms that can only survive in specific lab conditions, are being developed to prevent unintended environmental consequences. We are building the ethical framework brick by brick, ensuring that our wisdom keeps pace with our power. This journey requires not just brilliance, but humility and foresight. The future of synthetic biology depends on a global commitment to responsible innovation. We are standing at the precipice of a new era. The ability to write DNA is arguably the single most powerful technology we have ever invented. We can envision a future free from disease, a world powered by clean, living energy, and a humanity that has reached for the stars. Synthetic biology offers a vision of a world transformed, a world where the boundaries between the natural and the artificial dissolve. But it also forces us to confront the deepest questions about our own identity. As we step into the role of creators, we must ask ourselves, what kind of world do we want to build? And in the process of designing life, what will we discover about what it truly means to be human? The story of life is billions of years old, and we are about to write its most extraordinary chapter yet. Thank you for joining us on this journey to the frontier of creation. If this exploration of synthetic biology sparked your curiosity, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. We have so much more to explore together. Let us know in the comments what aspect of synthetic biology fascinates you the most. Until next time, stay curious. Imagine a world where we don't just discover life, we design it. Welcome to the dawn of a new era, a time when the building blocks of life itself, DNA, become our clay. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is synthetic biology, the next great frontier of creation. For centuries, we've been students of nature, decoding its secrets. But now, we are becoming its co-authors, writing new chapters in the book of life. We stand on the cusp of abilities once reserved for gods, holding the power to reprogram biology and build life from the ground up. What will we create? How will we change the world? And what does it mean to hold such power in our hands? So, what exactly is synthetic biology? Think of it like this. If traditional genetic engineering is about cutting and pasting a sentence from one book to another, synthetic biology is about writing entirely new books from scratch. It's the design and construction of new biological parts, devices, and systems that don't exist in the natural world. We are using DNA as a programmable code, just like computer software, to instruct living cells to perform new and extraordinary functions. It's a fusion of biology, engineering, and computer science, unlocking a future where the solutions to our biggest problems might not be manufactured, but grown. This journey takes us deep into the cellular machinery, allowing us to build with the most sophisticated technology on the planet, life itself. Let's start by exploring how we can reprogram nature to solve some of humanity's most pressing challenges. Picture a city at night, not lit by electricity, but by the soft, ethereal glow of living trees and plants. Scientists are already engineering bioluminescent flora, inserting genes from glowing marine life to create natural, self-sustaining light sources. Imagine parks and avenues illuminated by these living lanterns, drastically reducing our carbon footprint and reconnecting our urban spaces with the magic of nature. This isn't just about beauty, it's about reimagining our infrastructure in a sustainable, living way. Now, let's turn to our oceans, choked with plastic waste. It's a monumental problem, but the solution might be microscopic. Researchers are designing and breeding microbes with a specific appetite for plastic. These tiny organisms could be released into our waterways and landfills, breaking down harmful plastics into harmless byproducts. It's a form of bioremediation on a scale we've never seen before. Instead of massive, energy-intensive cleanup operations, we could deploy armies of microscopic janitors, programmed by nature to restore the health of our planet. These plastic-eating bacteria could quite literally consume our pollution problem, turning our waste into a food source for the very solution. And what about our food supply? We are all aware of the crisis facing bee populations, a threat that endangers global agriculture. Synthetic biology offers a potential lifeline. By subtly tweaking the genetic code of bees, we could enhance their natural abilities. Imagine bees with improved immune systems, resistant to the pesticides and diseases that cause colony collapse. We could even engineer them with enhanced navigational skills, making them more efficient pollinators and better able to find food sources in challenging environments. We are not trying to replace nature, but to give it the tools it needs to thrive in a world that we have so drastically altered. It's about becoming responsible stewards, using our knowledge to mend the delicate webs we've torn. But what if we could go beyond simply editing existing life? What if we could create something entirely new? This is where synthetic biology ventures into truly uncharted territory, moving beyond evolution's path to design life for purposes nature never intended. Consider the final frontier: space. Human bodies are fragile and ill-suited for the harsh radiation, low gravity, and alien atmospheres of other worlds. Instead of sending humans, what if we sent life forms specifically designed for those environments? We could construct extremophiles, organisms capable of thriving on Mars or the moons of Jupiter, perhaps even programmed to terraform those worlds, preparing them for future human colonization. These pioneer organisms would be the vanguards of interstellar exploration, life engineered to conquer the cosmos. The applications could be just as revolutionary right here on Earth, inside our own bodies. Imagine synthetic cells, microscopic doctors circulating in your bloodstream. These are not just drugs, they are intelligent biological machines. They could be programmed to hunt down and destroy cancer cells with absolute precision, leaving healthy tissue unharmed. They could identify the first signs of a viral infection and produce antibodies on the spot, stopping a disease before you even feel a symptom. These cellular medics could repair damaged tissue, reverse the effects of genetic disorders, and constantly monitor our health from the inside. It's a vision of medicine that is not just reactive, but proactive, personalized, and perfectly integrated with our own biology. We are also on the verge of building macromolecular machines, complex devices constructed from biological components like proteins and DNA. This isn't robotics as we know it, it's what you might call living machinery. Think of tiny, self-assembling factories that can produce medicine or fuel, or biological computers that can process information using molecular circuits instead of silicon chips. These biomachines could perform incredibly complex tasks at a microscopic scale, opening up new possibilities in manufacturing, computing, and environmental science. We are learning to build with the same toolkit that nature has been using for billions of years, creating a new generation of technology that is both powerful and inherently biodegradable. Of course, with this incredible power comes profound responsibility. As we learn to write the code of life, we must also write the rules that govern its use. The prospect of creating new organisms and altering the very fabric of the natural world raises serious ethical questions. Who decides what should be created? How do we ensure these new life forms don't have unintended, harmful consequences on our ecosystems? How do we prevent this technology from being used for malicious purposes? These are not questions for scientists alone. They are questions for all of humanity. This is why the field of synthetic biology is deeply intertwined with conversations about ethics, safety, and governance. Around the world, scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public are engaging in crucial dialogues. Laboratories are implementing strict safety protocols, like genetic kill switches that ensure engineered organisms cannot survive outside of a controlled environment. International competitions like IGEM even have a core requirement that student teams consider the human and ethical implications of their projects. We are treading carefully, understanding that our wisdom must evolve alongside our technology. The goal is not to play God, but to act with the foresight and humility that our newfound creative power demands. So, where does this leave us? We stand at a pivotal moment in history. Synthetic biology promises a future that is healthier, more sustainable, and more wondrous than we can currently imagine. A world where cities glow with living light, where our oceans are cleaned by microscopic allies, and where disease is treated from within by intelligent cellular machines. A world where we can reach for the stars, not just with rockets, but with life itself. We are transitioning from being passive observers of the natural world to active participants in its ongoing creation. The challenges are immense, and the ethical landscape is complex, but the potential is undeniable. This journey forces us to confront the biggest question of all. As we step into the role of creator, what kind of world will we choose to build? Thank you for joining us on this exploration of synthetic biology. The future is not just something that happens to us, it is something we will grow. If you're as fascinated by this as we are, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our future deep dives. What do you think is the most exciting or concerning aspect of synthetic biology? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.